Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party going it solo despite their alliance nationally, and the BJP hoping to trump the two. It's no secret that there is no love lost between the Delhi unit of the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, but there is now a renewed tug-of-war. The Aam Aadmi Party is upset with the Grand Old Party after it filed a complaint against Arvind Kejriwal, accusing him of misleading and deceiving the public with promises of non-existent welfare schemes. Their words, not mine. Ajay Makan was the man leading the Congress's charge. So now the Aam Aadmi Party has set a 24-hour deadline for the Grand Old Party to axe Makan or else face the music. They've even urged other alliance partners within the India Bloc, asking them to think beyond the Congress party for the Bloc, remove the Congress out of the Bloc completely. The Aam Aadmi Party said they will approach these partners in the India Bloc within the next 24 hours if the action that they are seeking is not taken. In a news conference today, Delhi Chief Minister Atishi and Aam Aadmi Party's Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh made some serious allegations against the Congress party. They launched this scathing attack alleging that the BJP and the Congress were hand in glove here in Delhi. Delhi Chief Minister Atishi accused the Congress and leaders of the Congress, including Ajay Makan and Sandeep Dixit, of targeting the Aam Aadmi Party instead of focusing on the BJP, as they claim that they are just reading off the BJP script. AAP also alleged that Congress has now allowed the BJP to have a say in candidate selection, implying that the BJP was involved in deciding the Congress's electoral strategies. Atishi further accused the Congress of making arrangements with the BJP for Delhi elections, sharpening that particular attack. They accused the Congress of colluding with the BJP in the upcoming elections to harm the prospects of the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal. Now, after AAP levelled allegations that the BJP is funding certain Congress leaders, but two candidates that they spoke of, Virat Kohli and Sandeep Dixit, both of them hit right back at the ruling party. Virat Kohli, Congress's Jangpura candidate, hit back at AAP, accusing the party of making baseless and frivolous allegations as a defensive tactic. The party is facing a losing streak in elections, so they are trying to divert their attention, was the claim that came to the fore. He alleged that Arvind Kejriwal has a history of lying and has even had to apologize because of it. He further called these allegations made by the Delhi Chief Minister Atishi as a reflection of her and the party's frustration. Another Congress candidate that was named by the Aam Aadmi Party was Sandeep Dixit. He too echoed the sentiment that Virat Kohli did. He accused the Aam Aadmi Party of secretly helping the BJP in elections, possibly through vote splitting or by deliberately weakening Congress's positions in key areas. Now, Sandeep Dixit, who has been fielded against Arvind Kejriwal, said that the former Delhi Chief Minister is actually the real enemy of Delhiites, and that is what the voters of Delhi will see in election season. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party Delhi Congress conflict puts the India Bloc on shaky grounds, because this is not just about the two parties anymore. The ultimatum that the Aam Aadmi Party has given also comes at a time when there is growing chorus from other alliance partners too, who've raised doubts on Congress's leadership. For instance, Akhilesh Yadav of the Samajwadi Party has very often spoken of how within the Congress leadership seems to be getting advice from the wrong people, that there is wrong guidance as far as the party's strategy goes. Lalu Prasad Yadav of the RJD had also echoed something similar, in fact wanting Mamata Banerjee to be the face of the India Bloc. It's time for Congress to realize its mistake. Give the charge to Mamata Banerjee, is what he had said. Congress should take lessons from past defeats, is what TMC leader has said. TMC on multiple occasions has claimed that it is the Congress that's dragging the alliance down in specific states. It wasn't even a force to reckon with in Bengal, is what the TMC was very clear about. Congress must rethink strategy. There is mutual trust that's required as far as the alliance goes, says D. Raja, the CPI General Secretary, also a part of the India Bloc. As far as Maharashtra elections go, the Congress was accused of arrogance. That the arrogance of the state leadership specifically was to blame for poll defeat, is what Samna's editorial had gone on to say. So while we have this Congress Mukt Bloc call that is coming to the fore from the Aam Aadmi Party, and them putting the onus on the other alliance partners, all we want to ask here on Plain Speak is this move because of discontent within alliance partners, or is this merely a drama or a stunt ahead of election season?
नेशनल पार्टी इस पूरे षड्यंत्र में दिल्ली कांग्रेस यूनिट के साथ नहीं है, तो वो दिल्ली कांग्रेस यूनिट के नेताओं पर एक्शन ले, ये हमारी डिमांड है।
अजय माकन वही काम करते हैं जो उनको बीजेपी वाले कहते हैं। उनके गाइड जो हैं वो बीजेपी वाले हैं, उन्हीं के हिसाब से चलते हैं।
Aam Aadmi Party very clearly is scared today. I'm 100% sure that they are not winning this election, and their biggest fear is the Congress coming to power, which is why they're really so scared in Delhi.
ये इंडी गठबंधन के रूप में साथ में चुनाव लड़े थे। अब साफ दिखाई पड़ता है कि इस तथाकथित मोहब्बत की दुकान के जितने भी किरदार थे, एक दूसरे के खिलाफ कितने नफरती और जहर भुजी बातें अपने दिल में रखे हुए।
Joining me on this edition, Gopal Agarwal, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Onika Mehrotra, Spokesperson of the Congress, Pradeep Bhati, Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Aam Aadmi Party is represented by its spokesperson, Sunny Ahluwalia. But before I open this up, I want to get in a sneak peek for our viewers of what Congress's candidate from Jangpura had to say about the allegations that were levelled against him by the Aam Aadmi Party. Listen.
Where is the proof? I mean, there's plenty of proof against Sisodia and Kejriwal in the liquor scam case. Let them clarify their position on that and answer to the courts. I'm an honest man. I feel very hurt by such allegations. And like I said, if the party gives me permission, I'll go to court against both of them.
That is a conversation I had with Farhad Suri just a short while ago, and we'll play that entire conversation in just a short while from now. But I want to get in Mr. Ahluwalia. Sir, if you heard what the Congress's candidate had to say, where is the proof? And if there is no proof, then the Aam Aadmi Party is looking at a legal hurdle, he says.
Definitely, everyone has a right to go to the court. Nobody is stopping them. But you can clearly see what the Congress is trying to do right now. Why Congress is blaming Arvind Kejriwal and why Ajay Makan is saying that he's anti-national. They never knew this before the Lok Sabha elections. When they wanted that Arvind Kejriwal should do the polling campaigning in Chandigarh, they do the polling campaigning in Delhi. For whom? For Congress. Now they are saying we are anti-national. There are sources from where we came to know that BJP is funding Congress candidates so that they can come into the fight with the Congress. With the Aam Aadmi Party, and I am clearly telling you on record, they are saying that Aam Aadmi Party is not in competition. Then why they are scared of it? Why the Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress at the same time telling us that social welfare scheme should not work in India? When they put the same things in other states, then they have no problem. But when we do it, then they have a problem. वो कहते हैं cheating करने के लिए भी दिमाग चाहिए. और BJP was trying to do what? Yesterday, they came up with the orders in that newspapers from the Lieutenant Governor that these public welfare schemes are not in Delhi. They are not in Delhi. We are saying if we'll win, we will do this as well as we have done with the education, we have done with the health, we have done with the electricity, we have done with the water, we have done with the good governance. So this also we will do. But now the problem is that they have started giving 1100 rupees cash from their member parliament house. Why? Are we scared or are both of these parties scared from Aam Aadmi Party? And they always
But sir,
say
the question was simple. Does the Aam Aadmi Party have proof that these two specific candidates that you've named in the Congress party, is there proof that the BJP is funding them? Because that's a grave allegation to make.
Chief Minister of Delhi has clearly mentioned that according to some certain sources, we are telling them they are open to go to court. They are most welcome to go to court. Why they are not going? We are saying it. They can go to the court. They can put the defamation case, whatever case they want. We will put the proof in front of the courts. What is the problem here? So we are clearly saying that we work on human resources. We invest on human resources. But after 70 years, they have done nothing. And now they want to copy the formula which Aam Aadmi Party has. And
it's interesting the kind of words that you're using. Many would think that you're talking about one of your political rivals. But the Congress is, in fact, one of your alliance partners. So, Onika Mehrotra, let me ask you this. There are two Congress candidates that they have specifically spoken of. But they've also set a deadline. The Aam Aadmi Party says, unless Ajay Makan is acted against in the next 24 hours, we are going to go and talk to our other alliance partners and ask the Congress to be thrown out.
Let them. I challenge them. Let them do it. What do they think of themselves? They can come about and say anything and everything. Earlier, just to put the blame on BJP. Oh, the BJP is trying to buy our candidates. And there was no proof. So this is what they do time and again. So see, any party who is working on the line of falsehood can never be successful. Ma'am, they can be for a certain time, they can, cast that magical spell and they can say, I'm a magician, I can juggle with numbers. Rightly so, he has juggled with the numbers. And that is why you can see the liquor and the sheesh men, other things. Actually, they are scared. Otherwise, ma'am, what was the need to take Congress candidates? Throw them out, I say. Why don't you throw them out? Remove them from your list. I mean, you have the audacity. We still supported you. All right, a larger picture where we didn't want a dictatorial kind of politics in the center. And that's why we all came together. There was a larger picture for that. But if we continuously continue to damage the other party, you think we're going to remain quiet? You go to Haryana, you ask us seats, you keep bargaining. We told them very clearly that you don't have any base. Take a certain amount. No, we want this number and that number. Ultimately, what happened, ma'am? They contested in all seats, damaging Congress, in fact. They lost the deposit. But by that small margin, the Congress candidate also lost. So, how much and how long can we allow Mr. Kejriwal to be an anarchist? He might have come...
Now, is this only to do with Delhi now, or is this something, Monica Mehrotra, that is going to be nationally? Because as far as the Aam Aadmi Party's ultimatum goes, they want you out of the India bloc nationally.
Oh, let them try, ma'am. If they think they become a national party, by hoodwinking others, they are sadly mistaken. As for the concern, at the moment is Delhi. Delhi is in doldrums. Both BJP ruled in the MCD. Massive corruption. Aam Aadmi wanted MCD de do, hame MCD de do, we'll remove the garbage, we'll clear Jamuna. Nothing happened. So people of Delhi, after 10 years, have seen Delhi deteriorating, ma'am. And that is why they remember what the Congress have done. We were the champion for empowerment women. We give the Ladli schemes. And we challenge them to do the same. You see, giving money is not the answer. We laid down condition, ma'am. We said, look, let the child study. And after 12th standard, you get an X amount of money so that the child can, move on to higher studies or for marriage purpose or whatever. These were the schemes he came, wherein the development as well as the reveries or the well-being or the welfare issues were hand in gloves. So there was no isolation. Here what is happening, you are giving bravery. I challenge them, give 101 braveries. Still then you'll be defeated because you have done nothing in the ground. Look at the roads, look at the environment, look at the say no to crackers or plastic bans or greenery, nothing whatsoever.
It's interesting that both the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party think that the other is hand in glove with the BJP, which is a political rival, but it looks like BJP, Gopal Agarwal is friends with everybody, even within the other bloc.
It is, Poonam ji, we have to understand that the basic conflict in the India alliance is there is no vision, direction. It's just a alliance of mutual personal benefit. It is not even mutual benefit, it is personal benefit. That's what is coming out. They themselves, even why they are fighting is a different question, but the clear thing is they are clearly exposing the other parties, the deeds over the last 5 to 10 years. AAP party has ruled Delhi for last 10 years. Congress itself, their own partner, is saying that they have done nothing about Yamuna, roads, corruption. That means at least that AAP has not done anything. If AAP had done anything for Delhi, Congress would not have told like that. So it is not only the fight, but actually on the ground, AAP has done nothing in the Delhi. AAP has done nothing for the people, nothing. Only corruption is their agenda. And
so you agree? So you agree, don't you?
We have to get into the depth of the issue. It is not only that they are fighting that we discuss, we should also discuss what over 10 years AAP has done to Delhi. What they have done to Delhi. And what Congress today, it is unholy alliance. That is now there. What Congress did in Karnataka, Belgavi, they put up a map which is not having proper Indian map in itself on the backdrop. That shows whose agenda Congress is following. Congress is doing anti-national activities, aligning with anti-national forces.
But Congress is calling Kejriwal anti-national, and that's where this entire problem started from. But Pradeep Bhati, let me get you in as well. Sure.
Yeah,
Pradeep Bhati, let me get you in as well. Where does the Samajwadi Party stand on this ultimatum? Sure. Gopal Agarwal, just a second. Pradeep Bhatti,
चट्टे बट्टे हैं ये दोनों.
Pradeep Bhatti, where does the Samajwadi Party stand on this 24-hour ultimatum? If the Congress should meet the Aam Aadmi Party's demands, or you, including everybody else within the India bloc, will have to face questions from both sides. इनको निकालो, इनको मत निकालो.
Thanks, Poonam, and good evening to all. Let's set an example. My honorable leader, Akhilesh Yadav, is well known for his sober nature, big heart, and decent language. We do not support or appreciate any foul language being used on us, against us, or by others. We have sacrificed our own interest to keep these fascist, communal, and jumlebaj forces out of the power. It is the beauty of democracy that there is no absolute agreement or disagreements within the alliance also. In last, as rightly said by BJP spokesperson, in last 25 years, people of Delhi had either elected AAP government or Congress government. So BJP is nowhere from last 2.5 decades. And India alliance is well intact and running fine. If they are talking about that within alliance, we are still fighting separately, let me also tell them that take the example of Manipur assembly poll. NDA was in alliance partners were in the national alliance, and they were fighting separately in Manipur, whether it's MPP, BJP, JDU also. In fact, in the entire Northeast, if you see the LJP, their own partner LJP, RPI, Atawale, all fought against each other, including BJP. BJP was fighting with their own alliance partners. And secondly, he was talking about anti-national. That's remind me another example of BJP, where BJP NPP accused BJP of calling them anti-national as well as. Hang on, Mr. Gopal.
Gopal Agarwal, just a second. Let him finish, please. I'll come back to you for your rebuttal. Let him finish.
Just one line. Let me complete it.
Go ahead, Pradeep Bhatti.
When it was coming to anti-national, that remind me another example where NPP called them anti-national using militants to target them and attack them, their candidate. And they call them most corrupt. They call them doing dynastic politics. And then the second day they are begging for their support. So this is the real face of BJP, where there is hypocrisy, double standards, and there is no ideology.
Sure.
So this Delhi people will understand it, and they will.
Sure. So the BJP may not have a high moral ground to question you on this, but what about the optics of it all? Like I asked you, 24 hours later, when that deadline ends of the Aam Aadmi Party, if they come to the Samajwadi Party and say, let's all get together and remove the Congress, where do you stand on that?
So that decision will be taken by all the alliance partner. It's not the forum where I can take someone out of it, alliance, or do other way around. It is we have a democratic alliance where every party has its own strength, and these all are big parties where they have a ground, they have mass level support. So we will sit together in case there is a differences. I have already told you that BJP itself in National Alliance fought elections separately in the state assembly polls. So this is nothing new in what is happening, but BJP wants to blame everyone and what they are doing themselves. They want to take credit of or trying to show us the divide within the alliance, which is not. We are a national level alliance. We'll see when the time will come. We'll see and sit together and sort it out this also.
So Gopal Agarwal, this is a national alliance. They came together for 2024. Now they have 5 more years to think of what their strategy is going to be till 2029. In that 5 years, how many ever state elections happen? In that, everybody is free to fight separately and keep their own agenda.
So that's what the basic question here to discuss is that is there a India alliance or it's a alliance of their own self-interest? One thing. Second thing is what the SP spokesperson or Congress and AAP spokesperson are saying, that AAP is saying that the Congress is anti-national and the Congress is saying that AAP is corrupt and has no efficiency.
You are also saying for your own partners.
And the SP spokesperson is saying that this is democracy. So I suggest them that if this is democracy,
you did that.
Then take out sticks and fight on the street. That will be bigger democracy.
That you would have done it.
Why don't you come out and fight on the streets with the sticks? You will give an example of democracy in the country. You will set an example.
But
that
Gopal
how
Agarwal,
can
they are
you
merely
become-
doing what's allowed under electoral democracy for them. They have their different agendas for different states, and they are just sticking to that.
No,
But that's
Poonam, they
that
did the
doesn't
same
mean that
thing.
if you are
I give
saying that
example.
Sure,
Congress
sure.
is anti-national
They did the same
and
thing.
still you are
They are
aligning
blaming
with
what
them.
did you do with the
So
Akalis?
that itself is a complex
You alliance.
situation. They have to answer. It's a democracy. People will answer. We ask the question. We are also asking, if Congress is anti-national for AAP, then why are you aligning with it? And if Congress says that AAP is corrupt and you are inefficient in governance in Delhi, why you are aligning?
You did
If you
the
are
same
aligning,
thing.
what is the
Mr.
reason?
Gopal, you did
That's
the
what
same
the question
thing.
is.
I give
If
you
you are
examples
aligning
also.
with the anti-national
I
party
give examples.
and still say that we are in the
But Gopal
democratic-
Agarwal, the BJP is being asked the exact same thing, which is what Pradeep Bhati was saying. But let me get in Anika Mehrotra. Anika Mehrotra, it's
No,
not
we
just the
never
Aam Aadmi
done like
Party.
that.
It's not
No,
just
we
the Aam
never-
Aadmi Party that has raised questions on the Congress's leadership. Many others have also made that call. The TMC wanted Mamata Banerjee to be the face of the India Bloc very recently. There were others like Sharad Pawar, like Lalu Prasad Yadav, who echoed that sentiment as well.
You see, it's not the leadership who has to lead the bloc. It's a collective issue. And things do change, alter and falter. So when they meet again, discussion can be on the forum. See, it's a democratic forum, unlike BJP. You know, they have the dictatorial kind of thing. They go into alliance with Akali, they clean them off from that area. They do with Shiv Sena, they break them off. So this is not that kind of alliance that we are doing it. Again, the focus was to eradicate from this country a dictatorial kind of a leadership which was actually ruining democracy, damaging the constitution. That was the whole focus. So on that grounds, I think when we come together, these things don't make much of a difference. The agenda is the main, and the way forward, what we have to do so that we are successful in our path is what is the main focus behind the alliance. See, let me remind you, BJP had a different alliance partner earlier. But then, marriage of convenience. They had nobody else and they got parties which didn't have a seat in the member of parliament. But still they got them together.
So then
Gopalji,
it just
hold
seems
on
then
now.
it just
Why
seems
you
like
so
it's
scared?
then it just seems like it's the pot calling the kettle black, because nobody seems to be coming out smelling of roses in this entire scenario. But Sunny Ahluwalia, your 24-hour deadline will end tomorrow. So far, the Congress seems to not be wanting to even hear your demand out, forget actually acting on it. What is the Aam
No,
Aadmi Party going to do henceforth?
Poonam ji, even in Haryana elections, actually problem is not with the central leadership of Congress. It is with the state leaders. They don't understand what is the alliance dharam. Whenever you must have remembered that in Haryana election also, Bhupinder Hooda ji always used to say, no alliance is required. What happened in Haryana? Now Ajay Makhan, we have also fought the Haryana election. Arvind Kejriwal ji, Atishi ji, everybody went to Haryana, but nobody said like this. The Congress is one. On the upper hand, they have an alliance with us. But in the states, what they want to say that we are anti-national. If we are anti-national, madam, if you're not happy with us, why you are saying that Arvind Kejriwal should go and campaign for Chandigarh member parliament candidate? What was the problem?
Ahluwalia ji, what you are saying
Come
about
on.
Congress?
Mr. Ahluwalia ji, why are you
आप
not
अग्रवाल जी
confused?
आप सुनो अग्रवाल जी आपको गोपी
अरे
अग्रवाल
लेकिन
जी
आप
सुनिए
बताओ ना, आप भी तो
गोपी अग्रवाल
जानते
जी
थे
सुनिए
ना कांग्रेस का
आप पता क्या
कैरेक्टर।
है आपका
तो आपने
प्रॉब्लम
क्यों
क्या है
अलायंस किया?
wherever
जो
Aam
क्वेश्चन
Aadmi
आप
Party
मुझसे
will
पूछ
go
रहे हो।
BJP will be finished. You have seen the example in
अरे आप
Punjab.
बीजेपी की
You
चिंता
have seen
छोड़ो,
the
इंडिया
example
अलायंस
in
की
Delhi.
चिंता करो ना।
Now we will repeat this again. Gopal ji, see, you have to listen. No, you are not sitting on some debate which is managed by you. You have to listen. You don't interfere in between, right? Now, one and important thing is that we only ask for votes if we have done work for the welfare of people. Please vote for us. If we haven't, please don't vote for us. What is your problem? We have worked for education. We have worked for health. Now your government, your central government was there when the US president's wife visit. Why you came bring her to the school of Delhi government? Why you haven't taken her to some other school? Because you have done nothing about the schools. We say that if you can work for education, if you can work for health, if you can work for public schemes, not for personal.
Sure.
You only work for
Sure, and if both the Aam Aadmi Party and the
One from
Congress
here.
are fighting
10
separately,
seconds,
which
10
they've made
seconds.
very clear, then they're more than welcome to, and more than within their rights to pander to certain issues that they think are their strengths and weaknesses. But Gopal Agarwal, yes, 30 seconds.
I just want to just say this as a small comment is that if once forget for AAP, SP and some this Congress to fight with BJP, first finish your fight among yourself, then you
So
come and
Pradeep
fight.
Bhati, like Pradeep Bhati, as far as optics go, if in every state we see this kind of tug of war between the Congress and another alliance partner, we saw that in Jammu and Kashmir. Omar Abdullah publicly came out and said that it was the Congress that performed far below expectation than it should have. In Uttar Pradesh, in the bypolls, the Samajwadi Party refused to concede any seats to the Congress. If this happens state by state in every state, where does that leave the alliance in terms of optics? Because this is all that people see, this is all the voters see, that this is an alliance, which say they're an alliance, but they keep bickering.
See, we have to understand that there is no doubt that Congress is a pan-India presence party in India alliance. And at the same time, it is also true that Congress has less presence in few states, big states like UP, West Bengal, Bihar, Chhattisgarh and Tamil Nadu. So at the same time, there is also a reality attached to it that the Congress winning striking rate has improved drastically. If you compare last two Lok Sabha election, where it was 2%, it has reached now 41% in Lok Sabha election 2024. So there are differences, as I said, there are differences within the NDA alliance also.
Sure.
And I have given you numerous examples from Northeast to here, where when in Bihar, JDU fighting with BJP, and if they go outside, they are fighting separately. So they are definitely, every party has their own interest and they want to expand and increase their mass base. So it will going to be that way. We are here to increase our mass base. We want to be a national party.
So nationally, the India Bloc is together, but the Aam Aadmi Party has made it clear that Congress can't be the big brother or let alone be even a part of the alliance. What happens 24 hours later, we'll have to watch out for. We'll also have to keep an eye on the alliance partners because they are definitely going to be in a catch-22 situation over this. Unfortunately, I'm completely out of time. I thank you all for joining us here on this edition of Plain Speak. Farhad Suri, Congress's candidate, now joins us. He's one of those leaders against whom allegations have been made by the Aam Aadmi Party, by the Chief Minister herself. Farhad Suri, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. ये जो आरोप आप पे लग रहे हैं, जो आम आदमी पार्टी कह रही है that your campaign is being funded by the BJP.
You want my response?
Yes, sir.
ये इसको दिमाग का दिवालियापन कहा जा सकता है और कुछ नहीं कहा जाता, बौखलाहट कहा जाता, कहना चाहिए। और ये जो जंगपुरा कंस्टिट्यूएंसी की हकीकत है, ये वो दर्शाती है क्योंकि सिसोदिया साहब इलेक्शन बुरी तरह हार रहे हैं। अब वो उसके लिए पहले से ही जवाब ढूंढ रहे हैं या इसको इश्यू को डाइवर्ट करना चाहते हैं, वो ये बेहतर जानते होंगे। जमीनी हकीकत ये है कि सिसोदिया साहब he is on a very weak wicket. And mind you, this is Delhi. If a gentleman abandons his present seat after having won 3 elections and migrates to another constituency, obviously something is wrong. He has not worked in his constituency, and such messages and such reputations tend to follow one wherever he goes.
Why do you think that is, sir? It's interesting that you bring that up, that he's had to abandon his seat and move to yours. Why do you think that the Aam Aadmi Party or Manish Sisodia himself had to do that?
Well, he was on a very, very weak wicket over there. So apparently he miscalculated. He thought this would be an easy constituency. Now he's learning the lesson the hard way.
Now, there is another candidate of the Congress party that has been named by the Chief Minister and by Arvind Kejriwal as well, accusing the two of you of colluding with the BJP. In fact, the Aam Aadmi Party has also now gone on and sent an ultimatum that unless all of you come out clean, unless Ajay Maken comes out and apologizes for what was said of Kejriwal, then this alliance is going to be problematic as far as the bigger India picture is concerned.
See, ma'am, I'm a very small worker. My remarks and my feedback would be at best confined to Delhi. It would be at best to Ajay Maken Saab is a senior leader. I'm sure he's more than capable of clarifying and defending and saying what he wants to do and say. But if you have to pose any questions to me, it has to be on Delhi.
Sure, it is, but it is about Delhi because one of the reasons why the Aam Aadmi Party has given this ultimatum to the Congress is the case that they're citing about you and your funding from the BJP, which is why I've posed the question to you, sir.
Where is the proof? I mean, there's plenty of proof against Sisodia and Kejriwal in the liquor scam case. Let them clarify their position on that and answer to the courts. Here, I mean, you can come out with any vague statement. Unfortunately, झूठ बोलने पे इस मुल्क में कोई टैक्स नहीं लगता. तो ये तो जितना बोलेंगे, और केजरीवाल का तो रिकॉर्ड ही है कि वो झूठ बोलते हैं. झूठ के सिवा बोलते कि आज जो दिल्ली में उनकी हालत है वो झूठ की वजह से ही है ना. अवाम ने देख लिया कितना झूठ बोलते हैं. जमीन पे कुछ काम नहीं हुआ है, और वही क्योंकि सिसोदिया साहब उनके डिप्टी रहे हैं तो वो भी उसमें इन्वॉल्व है. और आतिशी मैडम के बारे में आई नॉर्मली रिफ्रेन फ्रॉम मेकिंग एनी कमेंट्स अगेंस्ट लेडीज, बट ये तो दिमाग का दिवालियापन नजर आता है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन नजर आती है. मैं आपको 3 छोटी सी चीजें बता देता हूँ, बहुत छोटी. हमारे यहाँ दिल्ली में हर जगह एरिया डेवलपमेंट फंड मिलता है डेवलपमेंट के लिए. आप वाकिफ होंगे उससे. केजरीवाल साहब का 18 करोड़ लैप्स हो रहा है, सिसोदिया साहब का 4 करोड़, और 4 करोड़ से ज्यादा आतिशी मैडम का. ये लोग सिर्फ बोलते हैं, ये पैसा अवेलेबल था, ये लोगों की डेवलपमेंट में सिविक कम्युनिटीज पे खर्चा कर सकते थे. तो इनकी बात बोलिए, ये दिल्ली के सामने एक्सपोज हो गए. सरकार ने मना कर दिया कि वो फर्जी कैंप्स नहीं लगाने, ये अभी भी लगा रहे हैं फर्जी कैंप्स. तो ये तो झूठ पर. दिस पार्टी इज बेस्ड ऑन लाइज एंड लाइज एंड लाइज, नथिंग एल्स.
So, sir, the allegations that have been made against you, like you're saying, there is no proof to back it. Would we then see you or the Congress party take any action, legally speaking, against the Aam Aadmi Party?
बिल्कुल, मैं पार्टी से इजाजत लूंगा, उनको कंसल्ट करूंगा. जाती तौर पे मेरी ये राय है कि बिल्कुल लीगल एक्शन लेना चाहिए, मगर पार्टी से क्योंकि बंदा हूं तो पार्टी की इजाजत चाहिए होगी. और माइंड यू, हिंदुस्तान में सबसे ज्यादा कोर्ट में जाके अगर किसी ने माफी मांगी है नेता ने, तो वो केजरीवाल है. उसका रिकॉर्ड भी आपके पास होगा.
So if Arvind Kejriwal or Atishi publicly apologize to you, to Sandeep Dixit and to other leaders of the Congress party, is that something that would satisfy you?
On a personal level, no. If the party says yes, but on a personal level, no. You cannot levy such allegations. It does tarnish a person's image. And especially if it's reported by the media to such a large extent. No. I'm an honest man. I feel very hurt by such allegations. And like I said, if the party gives me permission, I'll go to court against both of them.
Would you be taking this up with the higher-ups, perhaps with the Congress president, with Rahul Gandhi as well, sir?
No, sir. I keep on telling you, मैं बहुत छोटा वर्कर हूँ. मैं अपने स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट से बात करूंगा. मेरी औकात उतनी है, मैं बड़ा नेता नहीं हूँ. मैं कोई आई एम नो केजरीवाल एंड सिसोदिया, मैं बड़ा आदमी नहीं हूँ. मैं छोटा सा वर्कर हूँ. मेरी माँ भी कांग्रेस की छोटी वर्कर थी. 5 टर्म MLA रही हैं, वो दिल्ली कांग्रेस की प्रेसिडेंट रही हैं. मैं मेयर रहा हूँ, मगर मैं बड़ा छोटा वर्कर हूँ. मेरी नहीं है, बट I will take it upon the appropriate forums.
Farhad Suri, one last question before I let you go. I know you said restrict this to Delhi, but I want to ask you about the India Bloc as well. Congress is a main part of that India alliance, of the India Bloc. And when we see such kind of public bickering between two allies of the same bloc, do you think it eventually just ends up helping the BJP?
साहब, आप एक बात नहीं समझ रहे. You must understand one thing, which we have explained up to times. This tie-up was for the parliamentary elections to block incompetent, communal and anti-constitution party. So that platform is still there. But on a local level, now we didn't have a tie-up with them in Haryana, did we? That's a recent. I mean, it took the elections took place a couple of months back.
Right.
So why this question on Delhi? We go our separate ways, and the Congress, mind you, whatever the press says or whatever the media says or whatever conclusions you come to, the Congress in Delhi is on a very strong wicket. We are not going to surprise ourselves with the results, but with the results that come, you people will be surprised.
The people of Delhi will decide and they will decide in their own wisdom. But Farhad Suri, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 and sharing your perspective. Thank you, sir. With that, it's time for a quick break here. We'll be right back.
MDH का किचन
Young cricketer Sam Constas taking it all in his stride. Vineet Ramakrishnan from Cricket Next joins us for more on this new controversy. Vineet, interesting, it's a classic Boxing Day match with the pressures extremely high. Now tell us all about that mid-shoulder bump which is under scrutiny. Was it deliberate? Was there a heated exchange? What happened?
It was a heated exchange for sure, and before the actual incident happened, there was going a bit of banter between Virat Kohli and the other fielders to Sam Constas. The exact actual incident happened between the 10th and the 11th over, and as you can see here on the screen, Virat Kohli, between the change of overs between 10th and 11th, was changing over, walking, towards the other end. You could pretty much see that he was, deliberately in a way, changed his path and got into a physical confrontation with Sam Constas. And anything in cricket, anything, be it verbal sly or any jibe, until unless it is not physical, it's not an issue, and it's all part of the sledging. But once it happens, once this physical confrontation happens, it becomes an issue, and it would go to the match referee. Sanctions could be there. You could be looking at a level 2 offence. It could be, if the match referees and the umpires reported, it could be a level 2 offence which could lead to 2 demerit points, which may again, it's not something, it will be very serious for Virat Kohli, because 4 demerit points means that he could be suspended for the next game, and Virat Kohli, remember, he has not had a demerit point since 2019, so this could very much lead to a demerit point. And as you can see in the visuals, Virat Kohli's, it was quite deliberate, that the change of path there, it was something that he wanted.
How it is, when India take on the Aussies. Interestingly, the Test legend Ricky Ponting insists that Virat Kohli did this deliberately. So what happens from here on, and what are the repercussions for Virat Kohli if it is found that this action was indeed intentional and was deliberate against Sam?
As you said, it's not an out of character stuff from Virat Kohli. When for the Indian team things don't work out with the ball, the fielders try to bring in some pressure. So this was kind of a pressure tactic, you could see. But as I said, until and unless it is something which is not physical confrontation as such, it's all part and parcel of the game. But when it comes to that physical confrontation, it becomes an issue. And regarding the repercussions, as I said earlier, level 2 offence this could be if the on-field umpires report it to the match referee. Level 2 offence carries a suspension points and match fees, also 50% to 100% match fees could be gone, or it could lead to 2 suspension points as well, to 2 demerit points. And remember, 4 demerit points is where at a stage a player could be banned or could be benched for the coming test match or maybe the coming international match. So in this case, it could very well be the least or the maximum could be just 2 demerit points. But then again, this is not something, it would be very serious where Virat Kohli would be missing the game. But in the game of cricket, you don't want to see these kind of physical confrontation. And as I said, the sledges could very well be, it's all part and parcel of the game until and unless it is not physical. And you could pretty much see from the screen, it was very deliberate from Virat Kohli trying to put the young opener under pressure, and it did not work as well. Right immediately after that over, Sam Constas really went after the bowlers, and he got 16 of 65 deliveries in the end. So it didn't really work out for Virat Kohli and Team India. It could have been, look, if this was a case where Sam Constas loses his focus and gotten out in the next over, we all would have been praising for Virat Kohli to manufacturing that wicket. But in this case, it did not work out, and of course this would definitely go to the match referee, and it could lead to demerit points, a minimum of 2 at least for Virat Kohli.
That's true. And Vineet, these are all tactics that we've seen over the years, how cricketers also tend to intimidate the other player, and this one is a debutant. He's a young player. What I found very fascinating is that he actually admires Virat Kohli. He is Virat Kohli's biggest fan. I wanted to understand from you that while you were speaking, this question arose in my mind, that when that shoulder bump happened, was it followed by a heated exchange of words between the 2 players?
Yes, of course. Sam Constas, before he made his debut, he in many press conferences did say that Virat Kohli is his favorite Indian player, one of his ideals as well, and he in a way very maturely has brushed down the entire episode to the national broadcasters he spoke about, and he said, it's all part of the game, whatever stays on the field remains on the field. So really good from a young 19-year-old to come up with a statement like that. And for him it's well, for 60 of 65, it was a dream debut for him, so he really doesn't want to put the focus on what happened, that incident. He wants to, enjoy the moment, and he pretty much did. 60 of 65, as I said, really one of the only batters to really take on Jasprit Bumrah in this entire series so far. So yeah, he really, brushing down this incident, and for a 19-year-old, it's a good gesture for him, to be honest.
Indeed. Young cricketer Sam Constas taking it all in his stride. Vineet Ramakrishnan from Cricket Next joins us for more on this new controversy. Vineet, interesting, it's a classic Boxing Day match with the pressures extremely high. Now tell us all about that mid-shoulder bump which is under scrutiny. Was it deliberate? Was there a heated exchange? What happened?
It was a heated exchange.
Welcome back. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Poonam Burde. Australia's rivalry with India turned physical on the opening morning of the fourth test at the Border Gavaskar tournament. At Adelaide, there was Mohammad Siraj versus Travis Head. Between the Brisbane and Melbourne test, sections of Australian media went after Virat Kohli and Ravindra Jadeja for non-existing issues. And on Boxing Day, a new fire was lit. Virat Kohli shoulder-bumped Australian debutant Sam Constas after the completion of the 10th over of the Australian innings when the players were crossing over. Kohli and Constas bumped shoulders while moving across the pitch. Both players quickly turned to each other. They glanced at each other, engaged in a heated exchange of words, with Constas' teammate then having to step in to separate them. Now that indiscretion has cost Virat Kohli 20% of his match fee, and 1 demerit point has been added to his disciplinary record for breaching level 1 of the ICC Code of Conduct. Now here's why Virat Kohli was fined. As per the ICC's Code of Conduct, any form of inappropriate physical contact is prohibited on field. This breach, if deliberately or even negligently shoulders another player, that is a breach, and that is something that was witnessed in this particular case. When assessing seriousness of the breach, force and the use of force, the context of the force that was used is going to be considered. In this particular case, we're given to understand that because Virat Kohli did not contest, there was no formal hearing, and because he agreed that such a shoulder tapping, shoulder bump did actually take place on field, he's agreed to take that 20% match fee penalty. Now, Virat Kohli is known for his passion, for his fierceness and aggression, as many would call it, the competitive spirit on field. He's had several moments of tension during India's tours of Australia, even in the past. Tempers flared on day 1 at the MCG when Virat Kohli exchanged those few words with Sam Constas, like we just said. The altercation happened as they crossed paths on the pitch. Constas was brushed aside on his shoulders, prompting both of them to turn around and exchange words. In 2018, the Perth Test was one of the most intense and dramatic moments in the recent India-Australia rivalries. Both teams involved in constant verbal exchanges. Kohli in particular had a heated exchange with Australian captain Tim Paine, which became one of the most defining moments of that series. The altercation began when Paine, in his usual cheeky manner, tried to get under Kohli's skin with a few words. Back to 2014 again, at the Boxing Day test at the MCG, Virat Kohli was once again at the centre of a fiery exchange, this time with Mitchell Johnson. Kohli, who had already been involved in an intense battle with Australia's pace attack, had a heated confrontation with Johnson during a particularly tough spell of fast bowling. Now Johnson, he's known for his aggressive style as well. He targeted Virat Kohli with short pitch deliveries, leading to that tense moment. In 2012, in Sydney, an incident involving the Australian crowd and Virat Kohli became one of the early chapters in the saga of his on-field controversies. After being abused by sections of the Australian crowd, Kohli, who was at the crease, responded by flipping a finger at the crowd in retaliation. This unsportsmanlike gesture led to widespread criticism. Many questioned Kohli's conduct as well. And what happened today at the Melbourne Cricket Ground? As far as Sam Constas was concerned, he came out and said what happened on the field stays on the field.
Yeah, I'll answer your first one. I was just doing my gloves and I think he accidentally bumped me, but I think that's just cricket, just the tension, and I think for me just having that freedom and just backing myself and just trying to bring the best version of each ball. So lucky enough to get a few runs today.
On that note, slipping into a quick break here on this edition of Plain Speak, but on the other side, we have a CNN News 18 investigation waiting for you. This is about India's growing drug menace. We've uncovered the smuggling of a new drug that's causing havoc across the country. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned.
Aam आया असली
Young cricketer Sam Constas taking it all in his stride. Vineet Ramakrishnan from Cricket Next joins us for more on this new controversy. Vineet, interesting, it's a classic Boxing Day match with the pressures extremely high. Now tell us all about that mid-shoulder bump which is under scrutiny. Was it deliberate? Was there a heated exchange? What happened?
It was a heated exchange for sure, and before the actual incident happened, there was going a bit of banter between Virat Kohli and the other fielders to Sam Constas. The exact actual incident happened between the 10th and the 11th over, and as you can see here on the screen, Virat Kohli, between the change of overs between 10th and 11th, was changing over, walking, towards the other end. You could pretty much see that he was, deliberately in a way, changed his path and, got into a physical confrontation with Sam Constas. And anything in cricket, anything, be it verbal sly or any jibe, until unless it is not physical, it's not an issue, and it's all part of the sledging. But once it happens, once this physical confrontation happens, it becomes an issue, and it would go to the match referee. Sanctions could be there. You could be looking at a level 2 offence. It could be, if the match referees and the umpires reported, it could be a level 2 offence which could lead to 2 demerit points, which may again, it's not something, it will be very serious for Virat Kohli, because 4 demerit points means that he could be suspended for the next game, and Virat Kohli, remember, he has not had a demerit point since 2019, so this could very much lead to a demerit point. And as you can see on the visuals, Virat Kohli's, it was quite deliberate, that the change of path there, it was something that he wanted.
How it is, when India take on the Aussies. Interestingly, the Test legend Ricky Ponting insists that Virat Kohli did this deliberately. So what happens from here on, and what are the repercussions for Virat Kohli if it is found that this action was indeed intentional and was deliberate against Sam?
As you said, it's not an out of character stuff from Virat Kohli. When for the Indian team things don't work out with the ball, the fielders try to bring in some pressure. So this was kind of a pressure tactic, you could see. But as I said, until and unless it is something which is not physical confrontation as such, it's all part and parcel of the game. But when it comes to that physical confrontation, it becomes an issue. And regarding the repercussions, as I said earlier, level 2 offence this could be if the on-field umpires report it to the match referee. Level 2 offence carries a suspension points and match fees, also 50% to 100% match fees could be gone, or it could lead to 2 suspension points as well, to 2 demerit points. And remember, 4 demerit points is where at a stage a player could be banned or could be benched for the coming test match or maybe the coming international match. So in this case, it could very well be the least or the maximum could be just 2 demerit points. But then again, this is not something, it would be very serious where Virat Kohli would be missing the game. But in the game of cricket, you don't want to see these kind of physical confrontation. And as I said, the sledges could very well be, it's all part and parcel of the game until and unless it is not physical. And you could pretty much see from the screen, it was very deliberate from Virat Kohli trying to put the young opener under pressure, and it did not work as well. Right immediately after that over, Sam Constas really went after the bowlers, and he got 16 of 65 deliveries in the end. So it didn't really work out for Virat Kohli and Team India. It could have been, look, if this was a case where Sam Constas loses his focus and gotten out in the next over, we all would have been praising for Virat Kohli to manufacturing that wicket. But in this case, it did not work out, and of course this would definitely go to the match referee, and it could lead to demerit points, a minimum of 2 at least for Virat Kohli.
That's true. And
Welcome back. India's northeast region is facing a serious challenge with the sharp escalation in drug abuse. This will certainly be one of the biggest challenges for both the state and the central government, because it raises concerns over infiltration across borders that are pretty porous. CNN News 18's investigation on India's drug menace reached the northeast. We visited the Indo-Myanmar border in Mizoram to uncover a smuggling of a new drug that is causing havoc across the country. It's known as yaba. This drug is a deadly combination of meth and of caffeine packed into brightly colored pills that are as deceptive as they are dangerous. It originates from Southeast Asia, but this potent stimulant is finally finding its footing in underground circuits in Thailand, in Myanmar, now in India as well. It's making its waves across the globe. It's also being sent from Southeast Asia to European and US markets as well. It's the new age party drug. It promises an intense high, but how exactly is it making its way into India? Find out from this investigation.
One of India's seven sisters, Mizoram has become the gateway to the fastest growing drug trades in the country. Fueled by porous borders with Myanmar, Golden Triangle syndicates and local insurgent networks, the region is grappling with a narcotics crisis that has far-reaching consequences. From heroin smuggled across international borders to synthetic drugs manufactured in clandestine makeshift laboratories.
More than 200 kgs of methamphetamine has been seized in the past 2 years in this state by the police. And only till this year, over 1,000 kgs of caffeine has already been seized. Meth and caffeine is the combination that makes tablets known as yaba, which are fast replacing other party drugs like ecstasy and MDMA. But what is yaba and what is its story? We are in Mizoram, and for the next 4 days, we'll be traveling extensively to the border areas and to remote areas in the Myanmar-Mizo border to find out what are the routes from where yaba is transported and smuggled into India and what is the story of yaba.
Yaba, also known as dragon pill, horse drug and crazy pill, a deadly combination of methamphetamine and caffeine packed into brightly colored pills. These are as deceptive as they are dangerous. Originating from Southeast Asia, this potent stimulant first found its footing in the underground party circuits of Thailand and Myanmar. Now it's making waves across the globe, including India, as a new age party drug that promises an intense high. But what makes yaba so popular? First is its affordability and availability, and second, its effects are highly sought after in party scenes. Euphoria, increased energy, and a distorted sense of reality. But the high comes with a heavy cost: addiction, paranoia, hallucinations, and even permanent brain damage.
These are like highly stimulant drugs. So when a person uses maybe smoke or inhale or inject or take a tablet of say yaba, it increases your heart rate as well as your blood pressure. So what that can lead to is the small blood vessels in the brain, they can rupture, causing stroke in some of the patients.
Well, we are in Champai right now, one of the 11 districts of Mizoram and one on the easternmost border. The jungle that you see behind me is Myanmar, and I am right now standing in India. I am right now standing in Tiao River, which you can see has almost dried down, which also makes Champai one of the most prominent routes for the smugglers to cross over into India with yaba.
CNN News 18 travelled to over a dozen villages along the Indo-Myanmar border and managed to track down a woman who was deeply entrenched in the yaba smuggling into India.
Yes, yaba is coming into India a lot. The number is very high. From what I have heard, yaba is mainly produced in Tahan district of Myanmar. I too have transported yaba tablets from Myanmar into India at least 3 times. Some of the popular routes lie alongside Darkhai, Phartlang and areas like Rikatwar that are close to India. Lilat is another area. It is not easy to transport in India given the security setup. I have heard that the inflow of these drugs has increased into India from Myanmar. The main reason for drugs smuggling is profit it gets us.
Law enforcement agencies believe that the organized crime syndicates are exploiting international trade routes to push this pill into global markets, turning it into a multi-billion-dollar industry.
About 500 kilometers of border we have with Myanmar, the state of Mizoram. And in this 40% is Tiao River. And the rest of it is densely covered forest. And Tiao River is usually dry in non-monsoon seasons. So any vehicle can just pass through and come into it. Indians can go into Myanmar 16 kilometers inside of it on foot, and the same thing is for the Myanmaris. So Myanmaris can get into Indian territory up to 16 kilometers on foot without a need of any valid visa. So that has been a great challenge because no one can stop the person as such. So last year, the whole year, we got about 250 kgs of yaba tablets. And this year so far we have seized more than 600 kgs.
In the lab, a single pill can cost as little as 40 to 50 rupees, but once it crosses into India, the price doubles to 80 to 100 rupees per pill. By the time it hits metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai or Bengaluru, yaba's price skyrockets to 500 rupees at the very least. Growing demand means one pill could cost 800 to 1000 rupees per pill as well. It's not limited to pushing drugs and making money off it. Authorities suspect that proceeds from yaba trafficking are empowering criminal networks and exacerbating violence in the northeast.
Following days of extensive travel along the Indo-Myanmar border in the state of Mizoram, we have seen the challenges put before the law enforcement in the state while tackling the menace of smuggling of yaba tablets from Myanmar into India. While the crackdowns had led to increased seizures, experts believe that the law enforcement in the state have only been able to scratch the surface so far. With Christmas and New Year around the corner, all the agencies in the state, be it the Narcotics Excise Department, Social Welfare Department and the police, are active like never before. But will these initiatives put together be enough to curb the menace of yaba in the state of Mizoram? We leave it here with this question. This is Anvesh Srivastava with video journalist Gunesh Singh Vedi for CNN News 18 from Aizawl, Mizoram.
Young cricketer Sam Constas taking it all in his stride. Vineet Ramakrishnan from Cricket Next joins us for more on this new controversy. Vineet, interesting, it's a classic Boxing Day match with the pressures extremely high. Now tell us all about that mid-shoulder bump which is under scrutiny. Was it deliberate? Was there a heated exchange? What happened?
It was a heated exchange for sure, and before the actual incident happened, there was going a bit of banter between Virat Kohli and the other fielders to Sam Constas. The exact actual incident happened between the 10th and the 11th over, and as you can see here on the screen, Virat Kohli, between the change of overs between 10th and 11th, was changing over, walking, towards the other end. You could pretty much see that he was, deliberately, in a way, changed his path and, got into a physical confrontation with Sam Constas. And anything in cricket, anything, be it verbal sly or any jibe, until unless it is not physical, it's not an issue, and it's all part of the sledging. But once it happens, once this physical confrontation happens, it becomes an issue, and it would go to the match referee. Sanctions could be there. You could be looking at a level 2 offence. It could be, if the match referees and the umpires reported, it could be a level 2 offence which could lead to 2 demerit points, which may again, it's not something, it will be very serious for Virat Kohli, because 4 demerit points means that he could be suspended for the next game, and Virat Kohli, remember, he has not had a demerit point since 2019, so this could very much lead to a demerit point. And as you can see in the visuals, Virat Kohli's, it was quite deliberate, that the change of path there, it was
but
something that he wanted.
How it is, when India take on the Aussies. Interestingly, the test legend Ricky Ponting insists that Virat Kohli did this deliberately. So what happens from here on, and what are the repercussions for Virat Kohli if it is found that this action was indeed intentional and was deliberate against Sam?
As you said, it's not an out of character stuff from Virat Kohli. When for the Indian team things don't work out with the ball, I mean, the fielders try to bring in some pressure. So this was kind of a pressure tactic, you could see. But as I said, until and unless it is something which is not physical confrontation as such, it's all part and parcel of the game. But when it comes to that physical confrontation, it becomes an issue. And regarding the repercussions, as I said earlier, level 2 offence this could be if the umpires, on-field umpires, report it to the match referee. Level 2 offence carries a suspension points and match fees, also 50% to 100% match fees could be gone, or it could lead to 2 suspension points as well, to 2 demerit points. And remember, 4 demerit points is where at a stage a player could be banned or could be benched for the coming test match or maybe the coming international match. So in this case, it could very well be the least or the maximum could be just 2 demerit points. But then again, this is not something, it would be very serious where Virat Kohli would be missing the game. But in the game of cricket, you don't want to see these kind of physical confrontation. And as I said, the sledges could very well be, it's all part and parcel of the game until and unless it is not physical. And you could pretty much see from the screen, it was very deliberate from Virat Kohli trying to put the young opener under pressure, and it did not work as well. Right immediately after that over, Sam Constas really went after the bowlers, and he got 16 of 65 deliveries in the end. So it didn't really work out for Virat Kohli and Team India. It could have been, look, if this was a case where Sam Constas loses his focus and
Greenlam Laminates presents CNN News 18 Primetime Studio.
Namaste, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan and we are coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studio presented by Green Lamb Laminates. Now, viewers, a war of words over an alleged misrepresentation of Bharat's map on the posters and banners displayed by the Congress party to commemorate the centenary of the 1924 Congress session in Karnataka's Belagavi has now